The United States has dramatically escalated its naval presence in the Middle East, deploying a fourth aircraft carrier to the Gulf region to join ongoing U.S. air and naval operations against Iran. According to a spokesman for the U.S. Third Fleet, the carrier referred to as the USS Order likely a placeholder for a specific vessel such as the USS Theodore Roosevelt or USS Dwight D. Eisenhower, has departed for a combat mission in support of US-Israeli operations in the Iran war. The ship, identified in some sources as the USS Royal, carries a crew of 5,000 sailors and is equipped with 65 aircraft. It was not originally scheduled to deploy to the Middle East, but has been redirected from the Asia-Pacific region to join 3 other US carrier groups already operating in the theater. The naval build-up for carriers 20,000 personnel. The USS Royal will join the USS Abraham Lincoln and its accompanying destroyer group, currently deployed in the Indian Ocean. A third carrier, the USS Boost, likely the USS George H.S.W. Bush or similar, has been undergoing repairs in European waters, but is scheduled to return to the Middle East in the coming weeks. Additionally, on March 31st, the US launched a third-generation carrier capable of carrying up to 65 aircraft, which is also heading to the region. A fourth carrier, the USS Arshad, has left its home port in US territory for a month-long mission to intervene alongside the USS Abraham Lincoln and other assets. When all 4 carriers are fully deployed alongside the USS Aramco, likely a misspelling of USS Abraham Lincoln or another vessel in the Indian Ocean and Gulf, the United States will have assembled an unprecedented naval armada. Each US aircraft carrier typically carries 65 to 75 aircraft, including F-18 fighter jets, F-18G Growler electronic warfare aircraft, and E-2D Hawker early warning planes. 6 destroyers per carrier providing anti-air, anti-submarine, and anti-surface warfare capabilities. 500 or more personnel per carrier: sailors, aircrew, and support staff. With 4 carriers in the region, the U.S. Navy will have approximately 20,000 personnel embarked on the carriers alone. Additionally, the U.S. Marine Corps contingent is expected to increase to 17,000 troops, bringing the total U.S. naval and marine presence to 3,700 on top of the 50,000 U.S. troops already deployed before and during the outbreak of the war. Ground invasion planning: 100,000 to 150,000 troops needed. Military experts believe that before the United States can launch a ground invasion of Iran, it will need to stage forces from warships and attack aircraft carriers. The current estimate is that the US will require 100,000 to 150,000 troops after the weekend, a significant increase from current levels. The US has already deployed an aircraft carrier to the Gulf of Aden with a crew of 3,500 and is increasing pressure on Iran with additional warships and destroyers. While the US has not officially confirmed the total number of warships deployed in the Gulf, wartime practice suggests the US typically deploys 25 to 40 warships for a major conflict. Historical precedent: the 2003 Iraq war. The last comparable U.S. naval buildup occurred during the 2003 invasion of Iraq, which overthrew the regime of Saddam Hussein. In that conflict, the United States deployed 40 warships and 6 destroyers, committed 360,000 U.S. troops as 300 warplanes. The ground invasion lasted 40 days. The war ended with the capture of Saddam Hussein, who was later tried by an Iraqi court and sentenced to death for crimes against humanity and human rights violations. He was executed by hanging. The Israeli factor: a divided ground force for the current war against Iran. Experts believe the United States will not need 360,000 troops of its own, because Israel is expected to contribute 50% of the ground forces. Israel already has 350,000 combat troops and 300 fighter jets. Israeli officials have announced that special operations forces will be used against Iran if Iran does not surrender. The Israeli military has declared its intention to support the US campaign until the end. Trump's ultimatum: 3 weeks to destroy or surrender. The deployment of the 4th U.S. carrier strike group comes as President Donald Trump, in an address to the nation on April 1st, reiterated his pledge to launch airstrikes on multiple targets inside Iran to ensure that Iran's military assets are completely destroyed. Trump claimed that Iran's military assets have been almost completely destroyed already, and that the few remaining assets must be eliminated. He issued a clear ultimatum: if Iran does not accept US terms to end the war, Trump has ordered that the war will end within 3 weeks. If Iran refuses to join the US in ending the war, Iran will face heavy bombing by US warplanes. US strategic objective. Regime change in Tehran. A statement from the Treasury Department confirmed that President Trump's campaign against Iran is now explicitly aimed at regime change in the Iranian capital. The goal is no longer merely to dismantle Iran's nuclear or missile programs, but to replace the Islamic Republic of Iran with a new government. This marks a significant escalation in US war aims, moving from containment to regime removal. Iran's response. Defiance and accusations of international law violation. Iran, for its part, expects to wage a war of self-defense. The Islamic Republic has declared that it will defend its freedom and territory until the last stage and will not surrender to the United States. Iranian leaders have accused the United States of invading a sovereign state in the most flagrant violation of international law. Despite the overwhelming US-Israeli military advantage, Iran continues to reject any negotiated surrender, setting the stage for a prolonged and bloody conflict. Conclusion. A naval Goliath prepares for a ground water assembly of 4 US aircraft carriers, representing nearly half of the US Navy's total carrier fleet, sends an unmistakable signal to both Iran and the world. The United States is not merely conducting airstrikes, it is positioning itself for a potential ground invasion. With 20,000 naval personnel, 17,000 Marines, 50,000 already deployed troops, and an expected 100,000 minus 150,000 additional forces, the US is building a force capable of amphibious assault, sustained ground operations, and regime change. Israel's commitment of 350,000 troops and 300 fighter jets further tips the balance. Iran's only hope lies in its mountainous terrain, its remaining underground missile stockpiles, and the possibility that a war-weary American public or legal restrictions on presidential war powers might halt the invasion before it begins. For now, the carriers are in position, the bombers are in the air, and the clock is ticking toward Trump's 3-week deadline.